You Orthodox types, you're all about the long game. I love it. I love it. Dude, it's good. It's actually really
Hopefully.
good. We
Hopefully.
in our Protestant world, we like the short game, I think we're built on reactions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Protestantism has an advantage, which is the reach,
Yes.
because it tends to fragment and to take up. It's like, it tends to move out and take up the spaces that are there. And so because of that, it tends to have more reach.
We get a lot of specialists out of that, right? And then the reach happens and relevance, but yeah.
You can sacrifice some of the internal coherence at some point, because that's what happens when you reach out, is that at some point you have to sacrifice the connection to the center to move out further and further.
No, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And if I'm still working in my world and plan on still working in my world, but like one of the saddest things to me, and one of the reasons why I've been so attracted to your thinking and your work on this is like, and then others obviously too in your world, but the lack of history that I have, it's so sad, in my tradition. So not just Protestant, I'm not a mainline Protestant, non-denominational, right? And so my history is mostly relegated to trying to associate myself with church fathers I agree with and disagree with, but it's not like I have like a long lineage of people in my faith family trying to interpret and interact with their writing and the scriptures. And that it's very sad, and it's exciting in some ways too, because of all the things you said. There's an opportunity to the relevance factor with culture and all the rest, but it's sad, man, to not have a history to like lean on or trust or whatever.
Yeah, but I think we're seeing it really is a side effect of scientific thinking.
Yeah,
it's a side effect of, because we have that in everything now. We have this sense that we need, so the downside of the Protestant approach was that here we have this text, right? We have this data, and now we just need to analyze this data. And if we can analyze this data properly, then we will figure out how to be. We'll figure out how to live. And so it's similar to the scientific thinking, which is that the modern world disdains history because they feel like they rather just need the data that's there today. If we can analyze that, then we'll be able to decide what to do. And that's absolute nonsense in terms of the scientific approach. You can see it because you had Neil deGrasse Tyson, when COVID hit, saying, well, I hope that people right now are going to learn to listen to science. And science doesn't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So you can have the data of how many people are dying.
We need it. Yeah, right.
But it doesn't tell you how much lockdown you need to do. Doesn't tell you how much power the state has. Doesn't tell you any of that. It just tells you what the situation is. And so it's important. It's super important. You need it. And science is amazing for that. But it never provides the narrative. It never provides the what should I do.
Yeah. What is, but not necessarily what should be. Yeah, for sure.